All right, so what's going on, guys? I am here today with some news on the Forged Carbon Stingy V2. Anyways, okay. Uh, you know what? I'm just going to cut to the chase. Right off the bat, the deal is the Forged Carbon version is delayed. How long is it delayed is unknown at this point in time. I just want to be completely transparent on this and tell you guys how we ended up here and what our plan is going forward. So, when we started working on the Stingy V2 with the Forged Carbon manufacturing process, we reached out to several manufacturers that we work with for carbon fiber, inquiring about forged carbon products. Of those manufacturers, there was one who was willing to make some forged carbon products for us, and we started working with them on getting the production samples. Now, the first pieces that they sent us were the top plates, the main plate, and that very bottom plate, which we broke in our initial stress tests, and we were happy with the strength of it, but we weren't 100% satisfied with the aesthetic of it. It's got a bit of a matte finish on one side and some like ripples on the other. And so we talked to them and came up with a solution to get the arms produced in a way that it would not have that variation. You can see the arms are kind of shiny. It's hard to see now because it's all built up. You can see that's matte and that's shiny. So we got the arms in, and about the same time that we were pretty much ready to launch the carbon fiber version, right? And the initial plan was to launch the carbon fiber version, and then once all the testing was done and we were happy with the forged carbon product, to then launch that. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of that plan because I didn't like the idea of having a customer buy the carbon fiber version only to have a forged carbon version come out weeks or months later and them feel like they got shortchanged because they didn't get the higher end product. So I pushed for us to go ahead and launch the forged carbon product alongside the carbon fiber version. Now, you may have noticed in my previous video announcing it that I said we were going to be stress testing everything and doing a lot of crash tests, etc. And that basically commenced immediately. It's on me for rushing this one. What we found when we started doing that stress test was that, like I thought, we're not getting any of the splitting. This one's been crashed on concrete a bunch. At worst, it just chips a little bit, which that was really nice. But we started breaking arms. And so Daniel took it apart and went to stress test the arms and found that the arms were wildly inconsistent. And we weren't getting the kind of performance out of them that we wanted. Now, that being said, the arms were made with a slightly different process, and whereas the main plate, top plate, and that bottom plate were up to our standards, the arms were not. So, that's where we're at right now. We're not able to release it as is, and so we're going to be working with the manufacturer to get the arms up to the standard that we demand and that you guys deserve, quite frankly. But it's going to take time. At the very least, if we go back to the old process, to the process that they did on the top and main plate, and they get us samples and we're happy with it and we go back and put it into production. At the very least, we're looking at a couple of months to get those samples made, to get them here, to get them tested, to move forward and get a production run done. And that's assuming that the arms with the other process actually are viable. We may find that they're not. Now, the good news is that the manufacturers that we approached about forged carbon products who said that they didn't have offerings or were not interested in manufacturing it for us. After my last video announcing the forged carbon frame, we've now been approached by several of those manufacturers who said they wouldn't make forged carbon, who are now willing to make forged carbon for us. But the problem is the prices that they are offering it to us at are significantly higher than the price of the original manufacturer. So we're kind of in a bind here where we don't know exactly how long it will take to get this resolved. We don't know 100% that it will be resolved. So ultimately, we're in a place where we are not happy enough with the product to release it, and we're looking at an indefinite delay, which just sucks. Speaking to the customers who have already pre-ordered the Forged Carbon Edition Stingy V2, expect to be contacted with Daniel. We've got several options for you guys, all the way from just full refund to some screaming deals on carbon fiber frames, which should be in stock very soon. So we'll be in contact with you guys very shortly to get your orders resolved. We don't want to sit here and hold on to your money for an indefinite amount of time. That's not how we do business. So expect to be contacted by Daniel at XHover with some options for you guys going forward. I 100% want a forged carbon frame. I want it. I'm not giving up. We're gonna be working on this, but I just don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know if we have to change manufacturers and change prices. It's entirely possible that this ends up being something along the lines of what we originally thought, that it was going to be a one-off that was expensive and something that you get to just hang up on the wall because it's freaking gorgeous. We may end up landing at that solution at the end of the day. I don't know. But what I will say is that if you did already get a pre-order confirmed purchase at the $139 price point, whenever we do get that, I don't care how much it is, we're going to honor it and offer it to those who have already placed that pre-order at the $139 price point. I don't give a shit if it's $500 or $1,000. Whatever it costs us, we're going to make it. And the people who are already in on the pre-order will get it at the $139 price point. Now, I don't think it's going to be $500. I don't think it's going to be $1,000. But it may end up being more. I just want to be upfront about that. I also want to be upfront about the fact that this delay is not going to be short. It's I don't know how long it's going to be because we're going to have to go through testing. We may... yeah, oh God, guys, this is killing me. I've been stressed about this all weekend trying to come up with a solution. And there's not an easy solution. But the good news is that the carbon fiber Stingy V2 is a freaking tank. If you haven't seen my crash test video, I have yet to break anything on any of those frames. So check out the links in the description to where you can get the carbon fiber Stingy V2. I sincerely apologize about this delay. It's not how I wanted things to play out. It's not how I saw things playing out. I anticipated, I didn't have any reason to suspect that we would have such a wildly different durability experience on the arms versus the top plate, bottom plate, and main plate here. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I'll be keeping you guys up to date on the progress as it unfolds. You can expect to see when I get more production samples in. I'll be showing you guys and letting you know how that testing turns out as it comes along. But like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what the price point is going to be once we get there. It sucks. Sometimes you try something new and it doesn't work out how you hoped or expected. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Later.